2026 Waec Chemistry Practical Preparation, I have come to reveal to you 5 calculation questions to expect in your titration. Because after undergoing certain researches, I have found out that there are 5 questions they are going to ask under titration after your tabulation. This number 1 is compulsory and it is always coming out every year. Number 2 comes out, even number 3, compulsory. But you don't know whether it is concentration for base or acid. Number 4 and number 5, percentage purity and impurity, they are likely questions, but they don't come out every year. So the purpose of this video is to teach you how to do all these calculations without missing a single mark. And again, how to know the unit to use. Because any answer without unit, you will be penalized. Now let's go through the question. A is a solution of sulfuric acid. B is a solution containing 0.0900 mole of sodium hydroxide per dm cube of solution. 500 cm cube of B contains 2 grams of impure sodium hydroxide. Put A into a burette and titrate against 20 cm cube or 25 cm cube as the case may be of B and calculate 1. The average volume of A used. 2. The concentration of A in mole per dm cube. 3. The concentration of B in gram per dm cube. 4. The percentage purity of B. And 5. The percentage impurity of B. The first question says the average volume of A used. For you to get the average volume of acid, you might have performed the titration and gotten your titration table, right? You can go to my previous video on how to get the titration table. I'm going to just write a specific average volume of acid. No need of going back to what we have done before. Average volume of acid equals 12.50 cm cube. So that the next is calculate the concentration of A in mole per dm cube. I know that some of you have crammed that formula. CAVA over CBVB equals NA over NB. The question says, in this case, calculate the concentration of acid. Before you use the formula, the concentration of the base must have been given in the question. If the concentration of the base is not given, you use another formula. So there are 2 formulae for molar concentration. Number 1 formula is that molar concentration equals mass concentration over molar mass. The question says concentration of A in mole per dm cube. This is the formula. But we are not going to waste our time doing this formula because the mass concentration of the acid was not even given. It was not given. But the molar mass is calculable. You can calculate the molar mass of sulfuric acid. So that is why you don't use this formula. You are going to use CAVA because of one reason. The concentration of the other one, base, was given to be 0.0900 mole per dm cube, right? So that is why you don't use this. Where the concentration of the base was not given, you must use this formula. And in fact, the mass concentration of the acid must have been given. I hope you understand this point. So to answer number 2, you use this formula. CAVA over CBVB equals NA over NB. I always advise my students that even before writing this formula, check if there is provision for equation of reaction, because that is where you are going to get number of moles of acid and number of moles of base. Now, the equation of reaction was not given. You have to do the equation of reaction first. So let's follow that step strictly. 1 mole of the acid reacted with 2 moles of the base. Now we move to the real question. Concentration of A in mole per dm cube. We are going to use that formula. Please don't waste your time to tell the examiner the meaning of CA, the meaning of VA. The examiner already knows even more than you. So what you do is to plug in the figures. CA is concentration of the acid. That is what you are looking for, right? Times VA. VA is the average volume of acid used. And you can see it is 12.50 from the table. 12.50 over CB, concentration of the base. The concentration of the base was given in the question. 0.0900. 0.0900 times volume of the base. Volume of the base is the pipette volume. That is this volume, 20 or 25. So in your school, if you are using 20 cm cube pipette volume, you put 20 there. If you are using 25, you put 25. I am assuming that you are using 25. So you write 25 here. equals NA. From the balanced equation, NA is 1, NB is 2. So NA over NB is 1 over 2. If you cross multiply, 12.50 times 2 is 25 times CA, that is 25 CA, equals 0.0900 times 25 times 1. You are going to get 2.25. 2.25. Then you make CA the subject by dividing both sides by the coefficient of CA, which is 25. And CA is going to give you 2.25 divided by 25. You are going to get 0.09. To three significant figures, 0, 0 mole per dm cube. So this is the CA, concentration of the acid, according to this question. The next is number 3 question. It says the concentration of B in gram per dm cube. B is impure, right? This is where the problem of impurity starts. Some of you will reach here and mess the whole thing up. Problem of impurity starts from concentration of the base, because that concentration of the base is actually the amount in mole of the base that are pure. Impurity did not participate in the neutralization reaction, which is this reaction. It is only the pure substances, pure sodium hydroxide, that participated. So the concentration you are going to calculate now in gram per dm cube is that of the pure one, not impure one. So you have nothing to do with these grams inside 500 cm cube, because it is the amount in gram of the impure sodium hydroxide. This is what you do instead. This is number 3, right? You have to recall that mass concentration equals molar concentration times molar mass, and you are calculating mass concentration because the question says calculate concentration in gram per dm cube. This is the unit of mass concentration. The mass contained in 1 dm cube, in 1 liter, right? So that is what you are calculating, mass concentration. The molar concentration is already here. Molar mass was not given, but you can calculate it. So what you do is that mass concentration is molar concentration, which is 0.0900 times molar mass of sodium hydroxide. Molar mass is also called the formula mass. So you can write the formula there. So that we have 0.0900 times atomic mass of sodium is 23, plus atomic mass of oxygen 16, plus atomic mass of hydrogen 1. If you add all this, you get 40. You are going to get 3.6 to 3 significant figures, 3.60 gram per dm cube. Now to the main business, the percentage purity of B. Purity simply means the pure part of impure substance, or it is the impure substance minus the impurity. That is purity. Percentage purity is simply mass of the pure substance over mass of impure substance times 100 over 1. Now this mass gotten is the actual mass of sodium hydroxide that reacted. The mass of impurity is not here. And remember, this is 3.60 grams per dm cube. A dm cube means 1 liter. And now these 2 grams is not inside 1 liter. It is inside a half liter. Look at it. 500 cm cube contains this, right? So now, if 500 cm cube contains 2 grams of sodium hydroxide, it means 1000 cm cube, which is 1 liter, or 1 dm cube, would contain what? 2 here, divided by 500 times 1000. 5 divides 10 is 2. 2 times 2, 4. 4 grams per dm cube. This is the mass of impure. Therefore, percentage purity equals mass of the pure substance over mass of the impure substance. 4.00 times 100 over 1. 2 divide 4, 2. 2 divide 360, 18. 2 divide 2, 1. 2 divide 1, 89. So the percentage purity is 90%. This means that 90% of the 4 grams reacted. Percentage impurity is simply 100 minus percentage purity. Percentage impurity, 100% minus percentage purity, which is 90, and that is 10%. You can use formula to calculate percentage impurity. Percentage impurity equals impurity over mass of impure times 100. Impurity there means mass of impure minus mass of pure. This is the impurity level, impure minus pure. Then you divide by mass of impure times 100 over 1. Mass of impure is 4. Mass of pure is 3.6 over mass of impure 4 times 100 over 1. 4 minus 3.6 is 0.4 divided by 4 times 100. 0.4 times 100 is 40. 40 divided by 4 is going to give you 10%. I hope you got value. Now take your screenshot, share this video, tag your friends, follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye.